We are heading back from Overland Expo Pacific Northwest because the day we headed to Oregon, we got an email that our truck was in Kentucky and ready to be picked up.
Are you stoked? Wow. I'm so stoked to be up at 6.
We drove 15 hours to Oregon, 15 hours back, and now 4 to the airport in Colorado Springs. I am running on nerves and anxiety. I've been building this channel for 4 years so I could buy a new truck and be able to modify it. It's basically become a second full-time job, and the fact that it's finally time to see the work materialize into something other than a number in a bank account is exciting and terrifying. So we are in Louisville, Kentucky right now. We're getting ready to leave the hotel. It is the big day to go pick this thing up. This is a big goal that I've been working on for a number of years now. It's the whole reason I started the channel. I needed another way to fund a project like this. And so I've been very patient. I've seen the non-hybrids come out. I almost bought one of the 3rd gens. Toyota for a long time wasn't giving much back to the community that buys these trucks to use them for the purpose that I use them for and that you guys use them for. And so I'm kind of eating my words now because I said all that and I was like, Jeep has the Rubicon, you know, the Broncos came out, all these companies were doing something exciting, and I was very excited that Toyota might be doing something as well. And here we are in Toyota, at least in my opinion. I know some of you might disagree with it, but I think they've done something very exciting with the Trailhunter. Anyway, we have our bags packed and it is time to get to the dealership, and this is the moment we've been waiting for. This is crazy. This is very crazy. It's time. I am very strangely nervous about this. I kind of hope they have a bow on it.
I see it.
Do you?
Do you see it?
Oh, there it is. Oh man.
Okay. It's exactly where I guessed.
Perfect. Thank you. Man, shined up and everything.
Oh, it looks so good.
Spanking new. Not a scratch on it.
Josh McMahon, it's a pleasure.
Appreciate your help on this, man.
How's it look?
It looks fantastic. Oh man. I'm like scared of it because I know it's not going to look as pretty for as long. Yep. I'm so excited to drive this thing back, man. Whew. It's intimidating. It looks great.
You go stand by your new truck.
Very exciting. The muscular lines on these are so cool. All right.
Go sign some paperwork.
Look how wide it is. Look at these angles right here. On camera and videos and stuff, this is just gonna look so good.
Yeah, it already does.
Yeah, it does. Okay guys, we have signed everything on the truck. I'm here with Josh McManus of Oxmoor Toyota in Louisville, Kentucky. He helped me get this truck and I'm so excited. This is a dream come true for me, so I really appreciate your help, man. And I am taking on the keys now.
Congratulations.
This is a big deal. And I'm gonna go over what they have on the lot and all the information about Oxmoor here in just a minute, but for now, he's gonna go through and show us some of the fancy features on this.
There's a ton of tech on here,
Yeah.
so I'll get you as well adjusted to it as I can,
Okay.
but with your long ride back, I'm sure you'll have everything figured out before you get
Yeah,
home.
for sure. We appreciate it, man. So I can start it up and turn the AC on, maybe?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Oh boy, first time starting it. All right. Thank you very much.
Yep, my pleasure.
This is so cool. This is really a dream come true. I really appreciate your help getting me this thing.
Well, I'm glad you could make it happen here in Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
All right, getting into drive for the first time. All righty. We're ready to drive it a little bit for the first time. Okay, so we have wrapped up everything here at Oxmoor Toyota, and I just want to say, like, they didn't give me any special treatment or anything like that. They didn't even know I had a channel before I started talking to my salesman, Josh. And so I just wanted to go over that. They told me what I was getting. They didn't give me any BS. I came down here. This was the most seamless transition of owning a vehicle. We've bought other used vehicles, never brand new before, but this was not a hassle whatsoever. And I just want to point that out, that they were super cool. They have Land Cruisers coming in. They have other Tacomas here. There's one right here. There's several right behind me. As far as Trailhunters, you'll have to follow up on that. I can't say what's available right now because it might be gone by the time you see this, but call Oxmoor Toyota. There was no dealer markup. I refused to pay the dealer markups. It was a very, very good dealership experience. Some dealerships will try to spend all day getting you to buy extra stuff. They didn't do any of that. They were fantastic to work with. So anyway, I just wanted to give them an authentic shout out because this is a dream come true for me, and Josh really helped make it happen. And so thank you, Josh. Thank you, Oxmoor. And we're gonna get on the road and start driving this bad boy away.
I've been dreaming of starting a new build for so long, but never did I imagine that I'd be starting off with such a badass looking vehicle. Everyone has varying opinions, but to me, this thing is absolutely mean looking.
How many miles are on the gauge right now?
It has got, where is it? 7 miles. 7 miles on this bad boy. There's gonna be 1,200 by the time we get home. And I'm perfectly okay with that. I can't romp on it, for the record. You guys are gonna expect me to just goose it right now. It's not happening. It's not my style. I got to do the whole thing. We're breaking it in proper. Different RPM ranges and stuff for the next 1,000 miles. The first, I believe it's 200 miles, you're really light on the brakes. You're not supposed to hit your brakes erratically or slow down super fast because you want those to brake in properly. That's with power brake, that's with Toyota brakes. Even if you just do a brake job on your own vehicle and you're doing it at 100,000 miles, you're supposed to brake them in lightly for 200 miles. The next one is there's no towing for 500 miles, which we're not going to be doing. And then for 1,000 miles, you have to keep varying RPM ranges. You don't want to have a consistent RPM range, just cruise control for like dozens of miles at a time. So pretty much I'll be going into the sport shift mode, shifting down a little bit, going different speeds and stuff. You want the engine to experience varying RPMs and stuff without going over 4,000 RPMs.
Okay, we are so stoked to be driving the Trailhunter right now. This is a very surreal experience, especially for me. Natalie has helped me along the way, holding cameras, dealing with my bullshit, and it has finally happened. And this is, I know it's just a truck to a lot of people, but this is just such a big deal to me.
Yeah,
and
it's a very big deal to us. We're really excited.
And yeah, and I don't know where I'm going.
Yay!
Yay!
And Tyler has to look at the maps because he doesn't need to be a distracted driver.
Yeah. Very excited, guys.
We have a 23-hour drive back to Colorado, and we have just one open day to stop at my dad's to see what he's been up to lately, and then we have to get back home as soon as we can. This was somewhat of a last-minute trip.
All right, so now I've driven for, I guess I did probably 5 or 6 hours today, and then Natalie has been driving for probably like an hour, hour and a half. What are your first impressions?
It is fast and smooth.
It is very fast and it is very
Which
smooth.
is really fun to drive. Feels like there's a lot of power behind it when I rev it.
Yeah, we can't really get into it yet. We've barely done 4,000 RPM. Again, I've mentioned it before. We're breaking the thing in properly, or as properly as we can on this trip. It's been awesome to drive though. Compared to the FJ, man, it actually gets out of its way. And I know once I load this thing down and it's got a lot more weight, it'll have some impact on it, but the guys at like Descent Off-Road that I talked to at the Overland Expo in the Pacific Northwest, they had a Land Cruiser with 38s on it, and they were like, man, even with big tires on these things, these new Toyotas, you can actually feel that they still have power. Like they don't lose as much as you would traditionally feel from modifying a Toyota. So that's exciting. Everything's really nice.
and I'm already getting a lot of ideas on how to do things, how to mount cameras like this one right here. I need to find a better way to mount that camera actually, but we're just kind of figuring stuff out and having a good time driving it. We still have a long way to go after today, and then it'll be broken in.
Now that darkness has fallen, we can test out some of the other features of this thing. The TRD Pro and the Trailhunter notoriously have rigid fog lights and also a rigid light bar. But to my surprise, the light bar is more of a floodlight beam than it is a spotlight. And that's good for seeing animals in the ditches directly around us, but not necessarily the elk in Colorado a ways up the road. Natalia actually loves the light bar, and I don't hate it, but perhaps I'm just a little bit jaded on my experience with spot beams. But I can already see myself adding at least one more light to cover some distance in the Rocky Mountains.
Turn the brights off. Okay, now turn your brights on. And then the light bar.
I've said in my videos before that Tacomas have become the full-size trucks of the 90s, and my dad noticed it too. So he pulled his first-gen Tundra around for comparison. I'm going to do a short, separate video on this, and instead, I'm going to plug my dad for a second because this guy builds some of the coolest stuff ever. If you think he should start a channel, or at least start sharing some of this stuff online, comment below. He recently built a NOAA functioning radio station birdhouse for the raised bed garden that he also built, and in case you missed it, it even has Dorothy from the movie Twister. He's also now building a rolling prep table for the kitchen, complete with a rinse bowl, a warming tray, and of course a place for the knives. The metal building he started converting to a home wouldn't have been complete without a wooden helm at the top of the stairs, and he hand-built that too, of course. The living room lighting is a canoe frame that, yes, he built, and the rest of the lights are lanterns that he converted to LED. And again, if you missed the small detail, that was Wilson from the movie Castaway. And one of his last projects since we were here last is his floor. He's making the cracks in the concrete look like rivers, and it flows all the way to the dining room where the table he built sits. Being my dad aside, he's always been one of the most creative people I've ever known. All right, back to the truck.
Okay, we are on day 2 of this trip back to Colorado, and we stopped for the 4th of July at my dad's house. Now we're continuing on. It's been an absolute pleasure to drive. Now that we've had seat time, what do you think about the seats?
I actually think they're quite comfortable.
Yeah, they're really nice. I don't know that they're as like orthopedic as like a Shieldman seat is, but because it has so many adjustments, when I start to get tired, I can make adjustments for like my leg support or the lumbar support and all that. And so I can fine tune it. So when something starts to get sore and seems like you're sitting too long, you can just readjust really easy, and it's all electric and stuff, which is nice. And I don't remember if I said this earlier, but I didn't realize that the passenger seat was all electric as well. For some reason, I had it in my mind that that was only the driver's seat. So it's pretty nice you're getting two what I would consider like a luxury type of seat. And yeah, that part is pretty nice. As far as the roof rack goes, that is incredibly annoying. Once we get, I mean, in Kansas, we're going 66 right now and it's starting to pick up. You can probably hear that. It's really bad in here. It sounds like a subwoofer, but
it's just that back part.
It's that back plastic.
We went and checked it out, and if we could take that back part off for this drive right now, we would, but there's Loctite on the...
Yeah, there's Loctite on it, which is good the way it's installed. But with the little hand tool that was in the air kit that I finally dug out, this little tool is going to take a while to do it. We're just trying to get back home. So I just abandoned ship on that for the time being. Toyota has one of the most expensive roof racks on the market currently, and it's probably still going to be because it's $1,199, $1,200. And for it to be making noise like that, wind noise is normal with the roof rack, but not like that. I think if we had something actually on the roof rack itself, it would be better, because like if we had a paddleboard up there, it wouldn't be just nailing that fender right there. But it is nailing that fender right now, and it is driving us crazy. There are other little things with this that it's hard for me to give a good comparison to other vehicles, but with my FJ Cruiser, I mean, that thing is driving a brick through the air. This is actually pretty nice because like just little things, like we don't get as many bugs on the windshield. We've been noticing that big time. They're still getting there, but I actually see bugs come at us and they'll follow the wind above the vehicle. The FJ, they're just hitting it all day long. Every gas station, I gotta scrub that thing off. This really has not been too bad. A lot of people don't seem to like the way that this looks like an iPad. Meanwhile, I've seen so many people with their gen and second gen Tacomas that have an iPad mounted on their dash for maps.
So I don't know. I personally think it's great. It doesn't get in the view. Right now this is about eye level, as we discussed before, and I can see the JBL speaker still, and this is not impeding into your vision. I think it's great. It looks great, and it's very functional. All right, guys, this particular adventure to go pick up the Trailhunter is brought to you by Onx OffRoad, and it's honestly one of the biggest things that I'm excited about with this truck is having this huge screen for running maps. And as you can see here, I can see absolutely everything. And this is just gonna be awesome for setting up trips and being able to see things without having to squint at it. This is something I've really been excited about, is being able to use it for this specific function.
As we're driving through eastern Colorado, the evening light is just too perfect. We have to stop for photos. Vehicles are quite an art form. They start in the imagination, they go to a sketch on a page, to a clay sculpture, to a sheet of metal that gets bent around and shaped into something that the artist originally envisioned. They're quite literally a technological work of art.
Some people will understand this and some people will not, but the FJ Cruiser did not have a window. And part of getting a four-door truck, and the whole goal for this, is to give this poor dog a window to be out of when we're on these long trips, because she's just been a prisoner in the back seat of the FJ Cruiser for so long. So this is a big moment. She's getting up there in the years, and we were scared that it would take me too long to pull this off, but we're very happy that her last year she'll get her window.
A lot more got recorded during this trip, but for the sake of time and attention spans, I'll be doing separate videos on some of that. And as I arrive back home with the new truck and reach the conclusion of this video, I would like to give a heartfelt thanks to everyone who watches my videos, and especially my patrons. Without all of you, I would not be driving this thing. I'm forever grateful for your support, and thank you so much for watching, and until next time.